Every time I watch something Star Wars, I always see.
You think of me?
Oh, how'd you know? No, I mean, I notice like when someone has the higher ground all the fucking time, in fights and stuff.
Yeah, I notice a lot of I don't want to kill them, and then followed with an action that kills them. Yeah. I notice that a lot.
There's also a lot of like, let's not kill everybody, and then they blow up a Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
like, you just realize you killed
everybody,
like thousands of people right there.
Or like they'll push something very heavy. Like, I don't want to kill anybody and take like a metal crate filled with droid parts. I'm just gonna bump it into them. It's like, well, you just caved in their chest, but cool, whatever.
Or force push them off the side of a like railing. And
and they fall like 5 stories. I'm like,
it's like, they're not a Jedi. They can't survive that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Do you think Jedis have like really a skewed like point of view? Like they just think like people can fall from
a weird
like large heights. Like they don't understand that normal people can't survive that.
That would be funny. They're just like totally like. That is a funny thought. Like, what? He's fine.
It's like that Batman's like, he's like, no, they're just sleeping.
Oh, the Batman.
Do you understand what killing people is?
They're on a farm, running with other rich people. With the skills that I learned in the mountains.
Okay, this guy's a maniac. Okay,
You're arresting me?
I'm recording.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hi, everybody.
Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing out there? Yeah. MC Jacob here.
And my special guest, DJ Jacob.
No, MCJ.
Oh, my bad. Oh, that's much better.
MCJH. No, wait. MCJ Hen. MC Hen J?
Sound like I imagine like a cartoon chicken DJ.
Oh, yo, MCJ Hen.
You done? Now you're a sheep.
Welcome to the podcast.
He's in a weird mood, everybody.
Just that little bit of caffeine kicked in just enough, man.
So, everybody, welcome back to Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. This is why we don't have sound effects on the show. we would just giggle the entire time. We can do them all.
Hope everybody's enjoying this continuation of 2020. 2020 didn't end, in my opinion. We're just like in like January 2020.A.
Yeah,
it's not 2021.
I was gonna say 2020.1, but okay, come on. Yeah,
2020 part 2.
I wanted to keep the 1 though for the 21. That make 2020.1.
But the whole thing is that it's not 2021 yet, is what I'm saying. Because 2020. Well, I mean, time is a construct. So do we want to get really down this rabbit hole now?
You start off the last episode like that too, right?
Did I seriously?
Yeah.
God damn it!
I think is that either the last one or the one?
Oh,
before?
no, it was the 4 Rooms one.
Oh yeah, it was Happy New Year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what's up? What's going on?
Doing things. Like I said, I was had a weird sleep cycle this week or this day. Time is a construct.
In this construct, he didn't go to bed till 10 a.m.
Yeah, well, because I fell asleep for a nap and woke up at like midnight, 1 a.m. and cleaned my PS3. So I decided to set up my PS3 in my bedroom until I can get my PS4 in my bedroom. And
still, he can get a PS5 in his living room.
So I got a PS5 in my living room. But I've been on a really big Dragon Quest kick. I don't know. I think I talked a little bit about Dragon Quest 3 last time. No, I don't think I did. But
I don't know. You talked to me about it, and
yeah.
I never remember.
So I wanted to start playing Dragon Quest 8, which I own for the PlayStation 2. And the PlayStation 3 that I have is backwards compatible. So it's super fucking old. And when I put it on in my bedroom, I turned it on, and like in a half hour, like the fan was like blowing kind of hard, and then all of a sudden it went from like to No. Like, oh, dude, my PS3 is going to explode or launch into outer space.
You're looking around like, is the purge starting?
I'm like, holy shit. So I looked up online. I've cleaned my PS3 before in the past, but like, it does still just collects. But I found out that when you clean it, that you're supposed to also like replace the stuff called thermal paste that like protects your processors from overheating from like your fan. And so I spent a couple hours like taking apart my PlayStation 3 very carefully, blowing it out with canned air, and then spending a good amount of detail like cleaning off the processors with the thermal paste and reapplying that stuff. Which was, I don't know, I like doing little like hands-on stuff like that. Like I remember when I was a kid, I would take apart my Super Nintendo controllers to clean them regularly.
No,
I've never been that guy.
I mean, I like to deep clean my. Well, I guess that would be deep cleaning, but I like to really clean my controllers. But I always get paranoid about taking them apart.
Well, okay, so Super Nintendo controllers really easy to take apart.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's just like a very simple, like motherboard switch that you had.
Yeah.
So one of my first PlayStation 3 controllers that I had, someone spilt soda on it. I was like, oh, I'll just take it apart and I'll clean it because I'm used to doing that. Not really thinking about the new technology that's because even regular PlayStation controllers and PlayStation 2 controllers I've taken apart.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 3 controllers is when it's now wireless. It now has a rumble pack in it. It now has a bunch of new technology that I don't know.
Did PS3 introduce the motion or PS4?
PS3.
PS3.
The motion. Oh yeah, the motion control access stuff. So like, I took off the back of it and I'm like, oh, this is so much more complex than I'm used to taking apart. Holy crap. And I was able to take it like very carefully. I kind of like took stuff out and was being very careful with it. And I was able to clean the buttons from all the like soda and shit that spilled on it. But then I broke off a little piece from the motherboard that I didn't realize. Because then when I put it back together and then I tried to turn on the controller, it wasn't turning on, wasn't connecting, and I like shook it and I heard a little rattle and I opened it up again and lo and behold, I had like broken off the thing that like supposed to send like the wireless signal to my PS3. So I was like, cool. I guess I reached my capacity of taking apart technology, I felt. But then I took my PS3, so.
I'm going to try and fix my Joy-Cons. That's what I'm going to do.
Your Switch ones?
Yeah.
Those that's a lot of small, very micro technology. What do you know? What the Nintendo is pretty famous nowadays to have like very specific like screwdrivers to take stuff apart.
I've seen kits you can get specifically for
like
just because that whole drift thing happens with the older Joy-Cons.
Yeah, no, mine's starting to do that too.
Yeah, and mine's do that, and it's like it really doesn't bug me that much unless you're playing something like Mario.
When you're playing Mario or when you're playing Zelda, like it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Well, because then it's just like Mario just keeps falling off the edge of the
No,
cliff.
exactly. Right? Like Zelda, like
oh no!
Within like the first month of me having my Switch and me playing Zelda, I was like from just like all the climbing, you're holding that joystick up super hard.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
So like it quickly, like just like already like my joystick just immediately just had like that. Gonna be leaning to the left a little bit, you know.
And it's weird. I've come to realize it's really hard to compensate on those for some reason. Like if you're going to the left, just okay, well then just push forward and to the right a little bit.
No.
But it's like okay, I'm going right now.
Yeah,
you know, it's
it's
not
because
kind of
it's
gradual.
like whatever like adhesive or whatever like mechanic's supposed to like keep the joystick like just level. It just kind of gets kind of like worn and used and destroyed.
Yeah.
So then like the whichever like the top heaviness of it is gonna make it kind of lean, and they're pretty sensitive, like touch sensitive.
Yeah.
So, and then it'll get a little stuck from just like being pressed that way. That's why I switched to using my Pro controller playing Zelda, and I prefer to use my Pro controller when on my Switch.
What is happening right now?
Yeah, no, we're both just like. Coughing and like phlegmy and stuff.
I forgot to swallow my spit and I choked on it.
Tommy's not good at swallowing, guys.
I do that when I play video games. If I'm like really into it, I won't remember to swallow my spit for a while.
Man,
and then I just straight up choke really hard.
Are you a mouth breather while you play video games? Okay. That's funny that you say that though, because I have noted wearing a mask at work. I've noticed like I just make the strangest like facial expressions because nobody can see my face, and I'm not even really registering that I'm doing it until I realize like, oh, I'm like grimacing like that. I'm making a pizza looking down. I'm like, and then I'm like, I'm breathing with my mouth open. And recently, I've noticed that I've started to drool almost. So I'm in the middle of making a pizza. And
Almost, folks. Almost.
I mean, I'm wearing a mask, so if I'm drooling, I'm not drooling into the pizza. I'm drooling into my mask. All right? So your food is safe. But I'm like, we're like in the middle of it, and I'm realizing, oh, I'm like drooling a little bit, and like sucking up all the...
So cute.
So I'm wondering if like when we're done and I don't have to wear masks anymore, if I'm still just going to be like staring at a pizza like, hey.
I smile at people and they get angry when they don't smile back. And then you know what I mean?
Oh, like before
It's
before masks?
No, it's just no. It's that's mentality. But I like when I'm walking around, I make eye contact when I smile and nod my head.
Oh yeah.
And they might be doing it back, but I can't tell. But there's this moment where I get like angry. I'm like, all right, I can't see your face. You can't see mine. Right.
That's hilarious.
Great. Well, yeah.
So that was a journey. We went from PlayStation 3 to Zelda to masks.
Is this a life? Nothing honestly makes me feel dumber than choking on my own saliva.
Dude, that happens to me quite a bit too.
just swallow it. So what do you? So yeah. Oh yeah. I told you finally. This is gonna be fun. I finally beat the main storyline of Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Anyone hears me that statement is gonna be like, "Do we just jump back 5 years? Why are they talking about Witcher 3?"
Because Cyberpunk 2077 just came out, and it's the same developers, and we're trying to catch up. I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
No, because I had the weirdest introduction to Witcher ever. But yeah, I finally finished that, and it was cool and all.
So how much completion did you get? Like, you finished the storyline, but how much of like the side stuff were you like? Did it give you like a percentage?
I think I'm at like 40 something.
Fuck. Because the storyline's only like what?
The story's not very long.
30% of it.
No, and you like I wasn't towards like the last quarter that I was strictly just doing storyline stuff and not like other things at the same time. I don't really know why I made that decision to do it that way, but finished the storyline and then was like, okay, I'm done. I think that's what I just wanted to be like done with it, and then I just out of curiosity I got the whole like DLC pack with it and everything. And I started the DLC and I was like, wow, this DLC is way more intriguing to me than the actual main storyline shit. I guess I'm going to
be playing The Witcher for a little bit longer.
I'll be playing The Witcher for significant, at least the Blood and Wine DLC is really cool. That's what it's called. And the name alone intrigued me. It was like, ooh, Blood and Wine. And yeah, I've been playing that and stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning trying to get a fucking set of armor that I can't afford.
That's great.
That was irritating. Oh, wait, maybe I can. Just thought of something. But yeah. Did that. So that was cool. Just want another Witcher now.
There you go. I finished watching Star Wars Rebels.
I finished watching Star Wars Clone Wars.
Ooh.
The last season, yeah.
What'd you think of what'd you think of the last 4 episodes?
I loved it. I didn't really care for... spoiler, I didn't finish the entire series. Which I told you.
Yeah, and I think I recommended that to you.
I think I was like, how much do I like? If I know enough Star Wars lore, can I finish the last season and still be okay?
Yes.
You were like, yes, and I agree. There were a couple things I googled. Like the funniest one was like the very first episode. They're talking about the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And I was like in Google, I was like, what exactly is the Bad Batch? And as soon as I hit enter, Rex
explained to the Bad Batch
who they were. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't need to do that.
No, because that's actually I'm pretty sure that's the episode's the introduction of the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay. Which I thought the Bad Batch were cool.
No, they're really cool. They're gonna have their own show.
They should have their own video game.
I think they're having their own spin-off animated series. Maybe it was been in the talks for a while.
Because do you remember the game Star Wars Commando? Star Wars Republic Commandos?
Xbox?
I don't remember actually.
It's not sound familiar to me at all.
It's like a first-person shooter, but you play clones.
No, I don't know this at all.
Like, you're basically like Black Ops clones going to do Star Wars missions. So it was kind of cool, but just like their whole vibe, I was like, ooh, something like that, but with the Bad Batch and like their special abilities, online, 5-people team, tech, tank, I was like, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Left 4 Dead kind of setup.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you got your tank, you got your
Yeah, like so take like Left 4 Dead, then the Star Wars Commando, like, and then with the characters of the Bad Batch,
and
mix it up, spit it out. I was like, that'd be actually pretty cool.
That would be cool. I forget the character that that's right. One of the troopers that Rex left behind decides to join the Bad Batch at the end. Spoiler.
Echo.
Yeah.
Echo. Yeah.
Dude, that final season is so good. And like
the last 4 episodes, also because the last 4 episodes they get rid of that stupid announcer.
Yeah, well, the last 4 episodes.
I don't like the announcer guy.
I feel like
narrator.
If they would have had if this was going to be released on air, because this was released through Netflix, I want to say. Okay. The last season, I think it wasn't. It wasn't produced.
Well, I watched on Disney.
Yeah, it wasn't produced by Netflix. But it was released on Netflix. Because remember when the Clone Wars was on Netflix?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so I think...
And then Disney got their
Dave Filoni and everybody that was in part of Clone Wars, they finished... because Clone Wars never really ended. And they wanted to make their final season. And I think they just released it on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And then when Disney Plus happened, they're just all on Netflix. Or on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know.
Yeah, send us mail. Let us know you're listening. I'm needy.
And the only thing that's really important about that I really think you need to know from the Clone Wars before watching season 7 is one, who Ahsoka Tano is, and she's not introduced until season 3 or so, season 2 or 3.
I want to say 3 because so I watched up until about 2 or 3. Then I stopped and I fell out of it. But then I read somewhere that Darth Maul got introduced. So then I skipped another chunk until Darth Maul got introduced. And then I watched that for a while.
Season 5 or 4 or 5.
And then I stopped.
And that's what I was going to say is the next one is to know the reintroduction of Darth Maul and what happened to Darth Maul.
I love Darth Maul.
And then...
He's so cool.
And I feel like maybe a little bit of storyline of Rex. Just kind of knowing who Rex is kind of important because Rex turns into a really very important character.
Mm-hmm.
He's the main stormtrooper that Anakin and Ahsoka work with. Is he a commander? It's Commander Rex, right?
Yeah, he's commander, and then all the Jedi are generals. Yeah, it's Commander Rex,
and all the Padawans are commanders.
Yeah.
So season 7. I mean, it's only 13 episodes, and the last 4 episodes. That's where I was trying to get at. I feel like if it was to be aired all if it was being played on Disney, I think those last 4 episodes would have just been aired consecutively as a movie.
Yeah,
an animated movie. Because they unfold like that.
Well, because even with the last 4, let's say you really haven't watched any of the TV series, but you have seen all of the movies, the OG ones, then the prequels and the new ones. Mm-hmm. If you more of a movie kind of person for them. Because I know people that just aren't really into animated stuff. That's fine. They just can't get into it. But as long as you've seen the prequels and you just know, because if you've seen the movies, you know who Darth Maul is. Mm. And then there's the whole about how he comes back. But even then, if you just know the Revenge of the, let me just get me good guy. Sorry. If you know Revenge of the Sith, it just shows a really cool perspective on what's going on outside of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, outside of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Another Jedi's perspective about what's happening in the situation, just like Fallen Order did.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see. And you're right, the whole time, and especially if you know the whole Order 66 thing is coming, you have this sense of dread.
Yeah.
That is just really cool. And I was like, yeah, you could totally just watch that on its own. And it's just, it's cool.
It's so good.
It's really cool.
What's also really great about it as well is the strange parallel that Darth Maul and Ahsoka have together. The Sith and the Jedi that feel betrayed by their teachings and betrayed by their masters that want to deny the teachings and just be the Force user that they are from the way that they are taught. Darth Maul doesn't want to be a Sith Lord anymore. He wants to take down the Sith.
No, but yes, I agree. But what I think... Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then
I have a comment.
Ahsoka, she doesn't want to take down the Jedi, but she doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. She doesn't really believe in the idea of what the Jedi are actually about. She thinks it's actually very selfish and misleading in a lot of ways because she's like, you can't hide emotion,
Yeah.
because she was too like Anakin, so kind of like this is kind of a trailing effect. Like Anakin was they believed to be too old to be taught the Jedi ways because he had already gained attachment to a mother and to everything and whatnot. And for a Padawan to really become a true Jedi, they should have no attachment to anything. Ahsoka as well, too old, had attachments to things. So Anakin, being her Jedi master or Jedi trainer, he already has this like, attachment. He didn't learn the proper way of disattachment for a Jedi way, so he's now training her. So it's see what I'm saying here. So it's just kind of interesting that she would take that path as well. But then, like, I like that parallel of like Darth Maul and Ahsoka, how they're opposite sides of the same coin in a way. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. No, the whole time I was watching it, I was just thinking this. In this moment in like the Star Wars universe, there is no truer Sith and there is no truer Jedi
Than those two
in this moment.
Yeah.
Because like even like Ahsoka a couple times mentioned that it's all about politics.
Yes.
So like with Obi-Wan, who like a lot of like said he is a very true Jedi, he's kind of not in a lot of ways because it is for him. It is. I think he thinks it's the right thing because he kind of follows the council wholeheartedly. But it's like, no, his side is very much politics. And then even Anakin joining the dark side is very much just to save Padme.
Yep.
It's not because he believes in the teachings. It's because he just wants to save Padme. And then Obi-Wan is blindly believing the council just to protect the Republic. So politics. But like, I don't know. They just like, Ahsoka even says the Jedi's job is to help people. Not politics.
Yes.
Boom. And then even like Maul's whole thing is pure Sith. I was betrayed. I want revenge. It's all about me and my power. And you screwed me over. And that's how this works. As an apprentice, I either die by my master or I kill my master and usurp him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And dude, the guy that plays Darth Maul is
so good.
I'm just so happy too because he was one of the biggest womp-womps of Star Wars like history. He was just this cool looking, especially you remember the moment when you saw his double-bladed lightsaber?
Oh yeah,
that was like one of the coolest moments as a kid. Like
that kind of has like a weird like grin come off of it.
Yeah,
as well.
he's like serpenty and he's like he comes off like an apex predator, And he was so cool. And then it was just kind of like up, bye. I guess
he kills Qui-Gon and then Obi-Wan,
seeks revenge.
Oh, dude.
So in theory, I guess it all start with Qui-Gon. Because Qui-Gon convinced, and then Obi-Wan probably shouldn't have been Anakin's teacher.
No, not at all. There's actually Dave Filoni in a Star Wars gallery when they're talking, this like behind the scenes of Mandalorian. He talks about, I think I maybe brought this up actually. He talks about how the death of Qui-Gon is really the turning point on where Anakin is going to be destined to go to the dark side. Because Qui-Gon, much like with Obi-Wan, he was a father figure to Anakin. Obi-Wan wasn't a father figure. Obi-Wan was a brother. So the loss of the father is harder on Anakin in a weird way than anything, because the person that would have been his father figure is now gone, and now Obi-Wan, who is more of a brother, is now leading him. Yeah,
with none of the like father figure like advice for very long. I don't know how to articulate that, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, it was cool.
No, it's a big thing. Dave Filoni always brings Star Wars back to family, how it's about family and family oriented, which is very true in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's cool.
So now that you've finished that, you have to watch Star Wars Rebels, because I give it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, really?
It is possibly like The Mandalorian. I give a 9 out of 10 as well. But Star Wars Rebels is possibly one of my favorite Star Wars things ever released. It's because it's just short enough where it tells a great story, and it's just long enough that it tells the story enough. Because it's only 4 seasons, and the first season is like 13 episodes. Second and third season are like 22, 23 episodes.
It's 75 episodes altogether.
75 episodes altogether. And like, you don't really get filler episodes until like season 2 and 3, because they're just longer seasons. So like season 1 is pretty direct to the point. Season 4 is pretty direct and to the point. And season 2 and 3 is like, has like their like is direct to the point, but like since it's 10 more episodes, like you have about like 9-10 episodes of kind of filler, so 20 it gets total. But
who's Freddie Prinze Jr. in this? Is he Anakin?
no, Anakin is not in this. This is
I'm on Rebels. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. got my times mixed up. Would you say, I have a question though about Rebels? Does it, in your opinions, because this is just kind of how because I watched this last season in like a day and I watched the season of this in like a day and a half.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I watched season 7, losing sleep. I watched it in one sitting.
Well, I just mean like it's that easy.
Yeah.
I just put it on and then they're 20 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Each episode. But like, so in the last 4 episodes, it still stays very much the same kind of format and everything, but a little bit of the innocence is lost. And I think a lot of that has to do with the situation. Like Maul is running around like chopping people's limbs off and stuff.
Yes.
Not with his lightsaber, mind you. He's ripping off pieces of the ship and he's using them as like boomerangs. And
oh, dude, that entire final part on Mandalore is so good.
yeah, it's like he's just really like killing it. But it doesn't have this like a little bit of the innocence is lost. Does Rebels kind of jump back?
No.
Or does it kind of stay to this seriousness?
It stays to kind of that seriousness.
Oh, then that was what lost me about Clone Wars. It was a little too for me.
That's what that was what I was trying to explain, is that it's like it's still animated, it's still on Disney, it's still technically kind of a kid show, but it has this more serious like tone to it. Maybe not so it gets kind of as dark as like it did for those last 4 episodes. It does, but I would say it lives more in that area of just what season 7's tone was.
Okay, cool. Then I would definitely get into it because I liked just the whole around feel of 7.
What's also great about Rebels is that it's like, I was talking about when we were talking about with The Mandalorian, is that it's great to finally see a story outside of the Skywalker saga, Skywalker story. Star Wars Rebels has nothing to do with Anakin, Obi-Wan. I mean, they're brought up, they're talked about.
Well, because they're big, they're big deals. Well, Obi-Wan with the Clone Wars, because then he goes into exile, but he's a war hero.
Yeah,
they got betrayed.
This is about pretty much. I mean, because it's like 15, 16 years.
That was my next question.
I think it's at most 17 years post.
So Luke is grown up.
Luke is a teenager, 100%.
Okay.
Leia is a teenager.
Okay.
There's little cameos with that.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I know, like, okay, I know like kind of timeline where it is. And it's about Kanan, who has this like little group of like rebels. They're not called rebels yet. This is before the Rebel Alliance has even started. This is about how the Rebel Alliance formed.
So they're considered terrorists? I don't know.
Yeah,
by the Empire?
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
I'm like, what would you consider them?
It's about like, and even like Kanan and his little group of people, they don't even want to be a part of the rebel like movement at the beginning. Like some of them do, some of them don't. It's, the whole storyline of it. But Kanan is a Jedi, but it was like 17 years ago. He's probably like maybe in his 20s right now. So he was a Padawan when Order 66 happened. Loses his Jedi Master.
So he's like, what's his butt?
Who?
Fallen Order.
Yes.
What the hell is his name?
Oh God.
Kale?
Kal-El? I think, no, not Kal-El. That's Superman. Fuck. Look it up while I talk. So like, and then he finds this kid, Ezra, who he just can like connect, like, oh, this kid's super force sensitive.
Kale? No. Sorry, go ahead.
He's super force sensitive, and so he's kind of reluctant at first, but like she's like, I'm going to teach this kid a little bit of the ways of the Force, and so like Kanan himself never really even got like deemed Jedi Knight or anything. Like Kal-El. It is. Or just Cal. Just Cal.
That's why Kal-El sounded right. Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. Okay, yeah. So
Cal Kestis was also a very young individual during the Order 66 storyline.
So like Kanan, he decides to train Ezra, and then it just kind of turns to like, Master Padawan, whatnot. But like it gets to a certain point in the series where like Kanan's realizing is like there's nothing more that I can teach this guy. because I don't like this is he's like this that's
the extent of my knowledge to force stuff.
Yeah. And it gets really cool like where it all goes with their characters and the development of them. Dude, oh man. And then like the storyline with the Mandalorians in it is fucking good. There's a Mandalorian on their team. Her name's Sabine Wren, and she is hands down one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
Yeah, she is so fucking cool.
Just real quick, jumping back to something we said the last episode. So I still have open right now the Star Wars Fallen Order cast list, and it kind of leads into our Lucasian name.
George Lucian.
Lucasian name.
Lucusian
theory. Grease. Trilla.
It's like
Proof.
It's like
Proof.
It's like, let me punch you in the stomach really quick.
Poof.
Let me slap you across the face.
Sork.
No,
that Sork is like if you're falling. Sork. Like
I was gonna say, or if I poked you in the eye.
Oh yeah, Sork. If you didn't listen to that episode, we were just making fun. I don't know. We were joking.
Was that part of an episode, or were we just ranting?
No, that was part of an episode.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. And that's how you use that theory to name your Elder Scrolls character.
Yeah, that's right.
Basically, like imagine stubbing your toe. What noise would you make, and then name your character that?
And just like find a weird name out of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that'll be next on my watch list.
Yeah, I think you'll really, really, really enjoy it.
And you said there is a little bit of Vader in there, right?
There's a little bit of Vader.
I really just need more Vader screen time, not just...
Dude, also... dude, just watch it. Like, I cried so hard when it ended. I don't say so hard, but like I did. Like the last 3 episodes, almost like in the same like theme of like Clone Wars last episodes. Super emotional, super like action packed. Also, one of the coolest bad guys is introduced, and it's like one that Ahsoka is looking for in the Mandalorian.
Admiral
Thrawn,
right? That Robert Downey Jr. may or may not be playing.
And I'm kind of like, once you watch Star Wars Rebels, and we'll talk about that possibility. Because like I'm kind of like on it.
I did see totally random, but just Star Wars. I saw a meme, and it was that scene when Luke and Darth Vader meet up again in Return of the Jedi, and they're having that conversation in the like foresty part, and then Vader has Luke's lightsaber and says, I see that you crafted a new lightsaber. And it just says Luke looking over his shoulder and is like, yeah, because some fucking asshole cut off the hand holding the other one. And I just thought that was just... I just popped in my head. I don't know who made that, but I thought it was... And it's just... Because they just got the look of like Luke looking over his shoulder. You can just really hear him saying it was...
He's like, you motherfucker.
It was really stupid.
Kind of like under his breath.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, asshole.
Remember last episode when we said we may not be talking about Star Wars?
I know. I was going to jump to just a quick little thing that I watched that you haven't, that I kind of brought up. I started watching, it is on Netflix. It is called Sweet Home.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Some of my coworkers have talked about it.
It is a South Korean horror drama. I want to add...
I was going to say it's kind of dark comedy.
Comedy? Yeah, like... I really enjoy it, but I'm kind of getting towards the end of... There is a second season. There's only one season right now. There is a second season coming out. But it's kind of getting to that point where, how like in Walking Dead or any of these like apocalyptic things, sometimes that just naturally the story starts to focus main on the characters, not so much the horror situation they're in, but their own personality is not clicking, or you find out this guy is a thief, those kind of like turmoils that go on within the group.
Yeah.
And I personally start to lose kind of interest at that point a little bit, because I'm like, I don't care about you people. I want to see the monsters. Like,
give me the monster.
I want the scary stuff, I don't really care about you guys fighting over, in this case, bowls of ramen and like stuff like that. Like that's what they're fighting over, like in one specific scene.
Oh, man, that ramen was so good.
But like, that's where I started kind of like losing a little bit. But visually, the show is really cool. And I was telling Jacob too, like, I don't know actually if I told you this. It kind of reminds me of Evil Dead a lot.
Okay.
In the way that everyone, when you get infected, like you get hallucinations, and like those are the hallucinations, auditory hallucinations, just nosebleeds. And I don't mean just like a little, I mean like gushing blood nosebleeds.
Oh, damn,
like
okay.
all down your front. Like it's pretty.
Is it kind of like when in like an anime when like the blood just like pours out?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but it's like really sudden, and then they just like grab their face and they're looking around, and everyone like freaks out because they're infected. But
oh no!
yeah. But what's cool about it is everyone changes differently.
Yeah.
Which makes it cool too, because then it's not like just, okay, it's a walker, kill it in the head, or any, where everyone changes the same.
Kill it with fire.
Yeah. Like everything, every threat has its own method of attack. So when you're introduced to a new, well, they just call them monsters. Whenever you get introduced to a new monster, you're like, oh shit, what can this one do? And that makes it kind of cool.
Is there like a thing of like the monster or like whatever power that monster has or whatever it does? Is there like a reflection of like the character in it? Do you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
No, I do know.
You do know if there is?
I know the answer to your question. Should I say it? I don't know if that's too spoily.
I mean, I don't feel like that spoils anything.
Hey, I guess
if
not.
A part of their part of their characteristic is part of the monster.
There's a part of your characteristic that is a monster. Some of them are obviously more explained than others because just some characters you get to meet as a person and then when they change or if they change. But yeah, so there is that aspect, but also the monsters themselves can, once they are monsters, they can change to damage. So if you hurt them in a certain type of way, they can change again to better adapt to whatever damage you did to them.
Oh, okay. So they adapt to the environment.
Yeah, they adapt. Yeah, it was just, and it's, I don't know. Huh. And again, like, I found it pretty funny in a very dark and very violent way. It's weirdly, I couldn't eat while watching it.
Oh, weird. Okay.
There's just too much blood. It just made me an appetite. And like, usually it doesn't bug me, but I've come to realize I don't really watch scary things while I eat.
That's fair.
I usually just sit there and watch it, but I was like, oh, I don't really like eating stuff and blood everywhere. That kind of grosses me out. I was like, I didn't know that about myself. But also, it's based on, it was actually originally a web cartoon, which I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in,
cool.
When was that? So it ran from 2017 to 2020. So it ran till October 2020, and then got released as a show on December 2020. So it's pretty like quick,
okay.
like
quick turnover into
a TV show. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I really enjoy it. Like I said, the ending I'm kind of like whatever about, but
you said it's only the first season.
Yeah, so I think I have like 2 more episodes, and then we'll see where it leaves off.
So you're not even at the ending yet.
I'm just getting to that. I'm getting to the end, and I'm kind of losing interest.
Losing interest a little bit.
Yeah, but
who knows? Maybe it'll turn around real quick on you.
Yeah, and just like visually, I think it also is just really interesting visually. It's very different. A lot of weird camera angles, and it's a very unnerving show.
You have AMC subscribed, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you and Fallon caught up with The Walking Dead?
Oh, I don't know. What are we at now?
Oh, well, I mean, the final season's going to be airing, I think, in February.
Oh, then yeah, we're just waiting for the final season.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all caught up on that.
Cool. That'll be
I don't even fucking know anymore. I don't know. Are we? This shit all blends into me at this. It's been going on too long.
Yeah, no, that's why they're finally ending it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm like,
with all these damn spin-offs and everything too.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm caught up.
Okay.
As I rub my eyes and temple.
You're just like,
I'm caught up. Yeah. No matter, even if I'm not caught up, I'm just gonna watch the final season and just be like, screw it. Like,
I mean, that'll probably be a thing that we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
What?
I am. I just remembered the big thing at the end of this most recent season
with Maggie and everything.
No, not what I was thinking. I was thinking Negan and Daryl.
What's part of that?
And
like how they don't kill each other?
Yeah, and
how they're like, oh, maybe we can be buddy.
They like, yeah. They had a little, and then oh, we got this kind of moment. That's what I'm thinking of. That was like the endish, right?
Kind of, yeah, I guess.
You'll tell me later what the Maggie thing was, because I don't know. I assume people are caught up.
Dude, I mean, it aired in like October. I mean,
let's just skip it.
We can. When we start talking about the final season of Walking Dead, we'll talk more about The Walking Dead. Do you want to go into the way of the fist?
Show no mercy. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we could talk about this for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we just wrap up with the 2.
Yeah,
because
So this is us trying to have a conversation without saying too much.
I mean, okay, so really quick, it's the end of the episode. I feel like if there's going to be anything for the future for us, if it's going to be the spoiler, it should be the final thing we talk about.
Okay, and then we just go
like
ahead
make sure, yeah. So in case, I mean, it's been out for a minute. I don't think
I think very possibly people haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, it's very possible. But we're Cobra Kai season 3.
We are going to be talking about it, and we are going to be showing no mercy.
Oh my! Yeah.
That's my spoiler. That should just be our spoiler alert.
Show no mercy. We show no mercy.
We show no mercy, and that'll be like our new
right.
tradition. Woo!
I dig it. I dig it.
So we're going to talk about Cobra Kai. So if you haven't caught up or you don't care,
then thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Because I love this show,
dude. This season, just like, I mean, I feel like it got a little bit. Maybe I didn't notice it in the first 2 seasons, but
wait. Before you get into that, though,
what?
Let's just talk about the show, not the season yet.
No, that's what I'm going to do.
You are going to do that. Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't know. Well, I guess I'm going to kind of I'm going to talk about a little bit of what this season was. Okay. I felt like this season went a little bit more into like the teen drama angle a little bit more than the first 2 seasons did. Am I incorrect with that? Was I too maybe caught up with the excitement of the first 2 seasons that I didn't notice it?
I think you are correct.
Okay.
Only because the first and second seasons were like, the first season was definitely just really about Johnny and like his shortcomings and his trying to like build up his life.
Miguel was still an important character.
Oh, no, totally. Yeah. But I think
and so was Samantha and Robbie. Yeah.
But my perspective was just that it was really Johnny, and then you had the kids as like kind of like side, but it was really Johnny that you were trying to see his build up and get his life together. And then the second season, again, the kids became a little bit more relevant, like bigger characters. Yeah, but like then it was Johnny and Daniel really butting heads was like the main focus, and then the kids, and then at the end of the second season is when the kids took the spotlight of took the mantle of being the main characters. And I feel like that's just going to lead into season 4 and be the same.
I see.
Trickle effect.
Well, I mean, I feel like the kids definitely they're definitely more of a focus, a bigger focus. I guess there's also just more kids to focus on.
There's like more side stories with all the kids.
Yeah, because like in season 1, you really had Miguel, Robbie, and Samantha as like the only 3 kids. I mean, you had Hawk and like all of like Miguel's friends starting to become like, they were like becoming in their own, like they're like rising out of like just supporting cast, becoming more main. Season 2, they kind of took a little bit more, and I guess in this one it just solidified that they are just like more than just like the friends of Miguel or the friend of Robbie or the friend of Samantha. Yeah. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Like the cast of the show has just gotten broader, so there's just more stories to follow.
Yeah, and I mean, real quick too, if you love 80s stuff, you should watch this. If you love Karate Kid, you should watch this. If you don't like either of those things, then you probably won't like this.
And you probably shouldn't talk to us or even listen to this podcast.
That's
you should listen. You can listen to this.
You can talk to me. They can talk to me too. Don't speak for me.
You are not my keeper.
But it's just, I only say that too because this is crazy, cheesy, and it knows what it is.
Yeah, 100% knows what it is.
Which is really, really...
Well, I mean, even when it was like released through YouTube, I mean, season 2, I mean, they did a really good job of... I don't know if they got the same writers from the YouTube when it was on YouTube. Because this was originally the YouTube series.
Yeah, it was YouTube, and then YouTube Red, and then YouTube Premium, and then Netflix.
And now it's Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
Because YouTube Red and YouTube Premium...
I think they got into it too late in the game.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's like, I feel like as soon as Netflix started streaming, they should have jumped on that bandwagon real, because they had the platform for it already.
I don't know. They may not have had like the people to run it type thing.
Yeah,
I guess that's why you just hire.
Yeah, I'm like,
design an entire new department.
Yeah. I'm like, I think they just. I mean,
it's like because Netflix got on it, then Hulu started.
Yeah, and then
I think Amazon was quick to that as well.
Yeah, I'm like, you already have 3 huge providers, and then Amazon has all of
But I think a big thing at that point is YouTube was really big about like having free content.
Yeah, like user created content.
Yeah, so I don't think it was probably just like not really. It's like that's going to be there. This is what we want to focus on, and maybe 10 years later, like we totally dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Cobra Kai.
But yeah, it's super, like I was saying, it's like super cheesy, but it's like it's really not relieving. What's the word I'm looking for? Nice. I want to think of something more intelligent, but oh well. It's really nice to see something so cheesy lean into it, and like it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's know what it is, especially I can't remember what episode we were talking about it. It's a huge nostalgia show.
Oh, it's 100%. It's huge
It's
nostalgia.
Pure
boner.
nostalgia, and it's so much fun for that reason.
But it's like nostalgia, but it also like, you know, it's new content, you know, for it all. Like, it's nostalgic as it gives us that satisfaction of like, you know, remembering the good times.
Mm-hmm.
But it also like it's a reflection of today as well in a lot of ways, and it's also it's a new storyline. It's a new take on what it was as well, because the whole idea of having Johnny being he's rough around the edges, but a good guy at heart, you know?
Yeah.
You know, he just had a bad teacher, you know, that he was being taught by Emperor Palpatine.
Well, yeah, and he also had like a bad father figure at home.
Yeah.
Which you didn't know until this.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, that whole he was the spoiled rich kid. It's like, yeah, I mean, he was the rich kid, but just because he was a rich kid doesn't mean things were going great.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere in his life. He was definitely, and in the original movies, he was definitely acting out against something. You just never saw his side of the story, so you don't know what he was acting out against. I mean, you kind of knew. I mean, you knew that the sensei thing was behind his ear whispering, but you didn't know he also had this other
sweep the leg.
You didn't know he had this other asshole telling him what to do. You know, so he was definitely doing a weird rebel bully thing. He was getting picked on, so he picked on other people.
Yeah, exactly. He was lashing out because he was getting
And Daniel's a real bully. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, and that's also another great thing about the entire show is that how Daniel. I mean, but also Daniel just also kind of a broken home. He's lashing out in his own way.
Yeah.
And then he finds Mr. Miyagi.
I really do like Johnny's character development. I liked my favorite thing about him is that he is stuck in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Only because he just says some really like almost like ignorantly innocent non-PC things.
Yeah.
I think is it the first season? I think it's the first season when he first opens up Cobra Kai and he answers the phone, and on the phone someone clearly asks something about, can anyone join? And then he says, oh yeah, boys and girls are welcome. And then there's like a pause, and then he goes, gender what?
Oh yeah.
And then like it cuts. And I was just like, oh yeah, this guy has no idea what's going on. He's just been living in this weird little personal time capsule.
He thinks he's being super progressive. Like, yeah, of course girls can join.
Yeah, but
like, gender what?
You gender what? I'm like, oh, you poor man. You were just completely behind the times. And it's not like the 80s were that long ago, but no. I don't know. I just thought that was really funny.
The 80s were 30 years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, or like the ignorant thing, or like his computer runs out of batteries.
Yeah,
because he doesn't know that you have to plug it in.
Yeah,
I'm like, where the fuck have you been, bro? Or he doesn't know that like I don't have Facebook anymore. Why? I got rid of my phone. You know it's on your computer, right? It is. You know, like, there's just something so simple and like that I really like about him. He's just like.
No, it's yeah.
I think it's really sad, but
it's
really
also
funny.
really great. It's really great, like that relationship between him and Miguel, because like Miguel really brings out the fallacy of Johnny a lot. How
calls him out.
Yeah, exactly.
His presence alone calls him out. Yeah, because Miguel just looks at him and is like, "What the hell is wrong with you?
You can't say that. Yeah. What are you doing?" So. I don't want to do a recap of all of season 1 and season 2.
No, I mean,
essentially, season 2 ends with Miguel getting knocked over a rail, like second story rail, and falls onto like the like stairs railing, like breaks his back from Robbie. Robbie just like did it out of self, like out of like Miguel like showed no mercy while Robbie was showing mercy, and then which then made Robbie actually like retaliate in a counter move, which knocked Miguel over.
Miguel had him on the ground in the like I'll break your arm position.
Yeah,
decided to show mercy, let him go. Then
Miguel decided to show mercy.
Yeah, because then Robbie got up and did like a roundhouse and then kicked him like off the ground. He did like a spin and like kicked Miguel over. Because why would Robbie?
Because right? Robbie had been being taught by Daniel's son. So Robbie was like, okay, show mercy. And Miguel's being taught by Kreese at this time where
So Robbie had Miguel down. Is that what you're saying?
All that I just remember Robbie kicked Miguel over the
Yeah, but I thought
ledge.
Miguel had Robbie down.
Oh no, I think Robbie had Miguel down, and then Robbie was like, "Oh no, I shouldn't break his arm," and then Miguel, fuck, no.
We should have watched the.
Yeah, we should have watched that season. It was a really cool episode. Okay, so we're talking about.
Shit, how? Because in my brain right now, I'm swapping both of them out perfectly.
Do you want to pause and just watch it really quick?
So then Robbie, in like anger, sprouted out because he's like still like Johnny in the sense that he has that kind of bad boy anger to him.
He's got that temper.
He's got that temper.
Yeah, that even like Daniel saw that because Daniel had that in himself as well, which is why
number 2, 3.
No, but Daniel had it in number 1 as well. Like,
yeah. Like when he's beating up the stupid bike and yeah. That's true. Okay, yeah.
Which is what made kind of like Daniel connect with Robbie. It was like he's like, oh, you have like a history, like you're kind of a hothead person, aren't you? And Robbie's like, yeah, I can fly off the handle and whatnot. And Daniel's like, well, I'll teach you the ways of Miyagi Dojo, and like you'll learn to like find balance. So season 3 picks up with Miguel in the hospital, Sam dealing with, which is Sam is Daniel's daughter.
Sam LaRusso.
Yeah. I don't really like her character at all. I feel like she's the problem.
I might get in trouble. She's a homie hopper.
She is, yeah.
I'm like, that's gonna cause, especially with a bunch of hormonal teenagers, it's gonna cause some issues.
Yeah,
like, especially if they know karate and keep fucking each other up. That's the thing about the show that I love, but I think it's ridiculous. These kids are fucking each other up.
Yeah.
This isn't just like a little brawl in the cafeteria. They are maiming and hurting each other.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Also, the fighting choreography for the show. And did you look up who they were?
No.
I looked them up. There are 2, Hiroku Koda and Janelle Kerfman. So they're both the stunt coordinators and assistant stunt coordinators. So they both kind of like take head on, I think, depending on episode and stuff. But I'm not gonna go through like their lists are incredible.
Oh, I mean, most choreographers or like story coordinators are.
Well, that's the thing though too, is that even you can even see from, if you look at their filmography, they all just did stunts forever.
Like they need like pops. Ones that popped.
Oh yeah. So. What did I say? Hiro did a bunch of like the Power Ranger spinoffs.
Oh, cool.
I think like Power Rangers Turbo, not the main, like the original one, but he did a bunch of them down the line. Which I just thought was cool. I was like, okay, that cool. All right, cool. And
very fitting. Teenagers fighting, doing karate,
and a bunch of them for Janelle Kerfman. I was reading. I know the shows. I never watched them.
Like. Can you think of any off the top of your head? Don't worry about it.
I can think of it off the top of my head. She has done a whole lot, but it was like I didn't really watch any of them, so I didn't really know what the choreography was like.
Oh yeah.
But it was just cool to see that they both have been in the industry forever. Started off as just stunt people, and then built their way up, and then to see them do this like collaboration with this show, I was just like, you guys kill it at like pretty. Because even then, a lot of times with like. You can sometimes you can kind of see when they're pulling the punches.
Yeah.
And this, it really did, like, to me, I didn't really ever catch a moment where I'm like, it looks like they're
hitting each other.
Really hitting each other pretty, and I'm sure they are accidentally occasionally.
It happens.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought the stunt choreography that they did together was super rad.
It's great. I mean, all of it is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Really. Where were we at with Miguel?
Oh, Mikhail's having weird karate fever dreams.
I mean, just to fast forward through the season, essentially, it's like Miguel broken back. Johnny helps him out, and he starts to walk again, which is kind of a quick recovery.
It was a very Dark Knight Rises recovery.
Yeah.
Like, just hang him from the ceiling. He'll be fine. It was kind of like,
there we go.
They both did. Like,
Robbie is like on the run, but then Daniel gets him like pretty much gets him arrested, and Robbie has his own like trying to figure out what like who who should be his father figure type thing.
And then he's having a problem in juvie with like a bully that is pretty much a dick to him. But I thought it was kind of funny. And it obviously did this on purpose. But while he's in juvie, he's reading Lord of the Flies.
Oh yeah,
which I was like,
I thought it was very fitting.
I was like, you did that on purpose, definitely.
100%, yeah.
So he's like dealing with this bully, which I think if I was in the room when I was watching. So him and the bully get into this like altercation and beat the living hell out of each other, and then they're like really like they're totally like pretty much cool after that.
Yeah, because they don't snitch on each other.
Well, no, but also I was just like, most fights that I've been in, once you get into the fight with the guy, you and the guy are cool.
Yeah.
Like no matter like really like. I was like, yeah. She's like, is that really like a thing? I was like, I mean, every fight I've been into, like I've been usually
most of the times, sometimes not.
Yes,
like, it depends what like how much of a vendetta you have for that person.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends on what caused it, but yeah, most of the times it's like you get out the aggression, you guys are cool. Like,
yeah,
it's been pretty much my experience, except for a handful haven't been that way.
They're like, no, yeah, he cool. Yeah, why? Because he hit me in the face a couple times. I hit him in the face a couple times. We're cool.
Yeah, like, but I was like, that was kind of cool. I do like that they cut Robbie's hair.
You didn't like that 80s, 90s?
I thought it was just, I didn't think it was practical for karate.
It's not practical.
You can't see. You can't see nothing.
That's why that's where he also wore a headband when he was.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Or not a headband, but a hair tie when he was fighting.
Oh yeah, like I'm rocking right
now.
Yeah,
there you go.
So I just realized my hair's longer than his. I'm talking shit about
it. Sam kind of has to go through dealing with
like PTSD.
Yeah. Because like Tony, is that her name?
Tori,
thank you.
Yeah,
Tori like took out some claws at the end of season 2, like some spiked, like a
she was not lying in season 2, and she's like, I'm coming for you, bitch.
Yeah.
She came at her real hard,
and like I think that's just kind of what like freaked Sam out. And then also Tori is just like Tori's ruthless in this season, but I can't stand. I don't think the girl's that good of an actor. Like
I was
the
watching
entire time, her face just like. Like she's grimacing the entire time, like, and it's like, what? Like you're not acting. You're showing an emotion.
That scene where she's talking to Robbie about joining or not joining up with Cobra Kai, like the new Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
There's a video I was watching that they pointed out she just sounds like Emperor Palpatine. Let the hate flow through you. And I was like, well, I can never unhear that. Because like, and I was thinking back to that scene. I was like, oh, 100%.
I think I may have actually thought that.
Let the hate into the, and then she starts hitting the I don't know, the whole thing. I was like, it's really cheesy. But then, yeah. So go ahead. Sorry,
and
didn't work there.
You have a nice storyline with Hawk trying to figure out where he belongs, if he really is like a crease boy or if he belongs more with Miyagi.
I really like Hawk.
I do too.
I didn't at first.
I feel like that kid is the most solid actor out of all of the kids.
I really like him. I mean, I think he kind of looks like a douchebag, but
well, yeah. I mean, he tried to.
He acts like a douchebag.
Well, yeah, because he learned. Like, what was it, at the beginning of season 1, or when he was like, I figured, he's like, you know what I learned is like, if I'm going to get made fun of, I'm just going to adapt to the situation.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
So it's like, if he sees that all the kids that are cool are bullies,
so
he's going to overcome from his cleft lip.
Well, I just liked too when Kreese gets his like athlete.
Oh,
that whole scene was intense.
Yeah, it was. It brings in the athletes, which are actually like the bullies, the people that bullied Hawk.
Yeah, they call him Lip because he called him Lip because he has a cleft lip. Yeah, and like they're told
the scar. Yeah.
But yeah, then he like Hawk like volunteering to go next. You're like, oh, dude, you're fucked.
Dude, yeah, he decimated that guy.
Yeah, that was like. Jesus, that's what I'm saying. These kids
showed no mercy.
I'm like, this is like shit you go to jail for.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's also what Kreese was teaching back, and with the original Cobra Kai and when it was the Karate Kid, in the 80s.
It's amazing how many throwbacks they do, like the it's open season on them.
Oh
and
yeah,
you remember that? That's in the first one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He says that to Miyagi and Daniel when they show when he like Miyagi's like, hey, can you stop beating up this kid? And Reese is like. Nah.
So the Hawk has his own story, his a cool storyline with that. And then Daniel and Johnny kind of have like a pair. Like Johnny's trying to escape. Johnny's like arc is really kind of more like letting go of the past and learning that he can be.
I think it's both of them.
Yeah, they both kind of needed to do that.
Yeah, they both need to get over it. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just them getting over like their beef with each other, but kind of also getting over themselves and just living in the moment more for the kids and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
What were you gonna?
I was just gonna say, I think also a really cool thing about this season is giving a really, not a more in-depth background to Kreese.
I was indifferent. I was kind of torn with that because I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's kind of nice to see like a humanization of him, but also to see his humanization is kind of like it's not really a humanization. It's kind of like a creation story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, compared to what he was before he joined Vietnam, and
yeah,
that you mean like what happened to him in Vietnam to make him the way he is.
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I just thought it was kind of. It just made him more it just gave him a depth.
Yeah, it gives him he's not just a shallow villain.
He's not just a bad guy to be a bad guy. You're kind of like, okay, like even if it's like the writing isn't the best for his development, it's like at least another just layer.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, this is why he is so adamant about creating the next generation of badasses, quote unquote, you know.
The best part through like this season does a great job of slowly building to its final episode, which I thought it was still going to lead to the All Valley tournament, but I think that's going to be the end of season 4, and I think season 4 is going to be the end of this entire show.
That's what I was reading, which I think is going to be perfect.
And what's actually interesting is that it's December 19th, and that's the date of the All Valley tournament that Daniel won.
The first one?
In the first one, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Man, they really like.
Yeah. They're pulling up as many Easter eggs and like things from the past as they can.
Yeah.
They're making it all trying to tie up and come full circle together.
Well, that's what's cool too. Especially if you're talking about Easter eggs, they took a lot of footage that fell to the ground floor.
Yeah.
From the original 3.
Oh, yeah.
For like flashback scenes, and threw them in there.
I feel like a lot of those are actually in the movies.
No, they are, but it's like it's like a different camera angle, so it's not just copy and paste from the movie. This scene, they like picked one where the camera was like over here just to give it a different kind of like look.
I did not catch that when I was rewatching the movies.
It's really subtle, but they just used like slightly different, just to be a more interesting flashback rather than just copy and paste it.
Yeah, okay. One of the best episodes. I'm sorry. Before we get into the final episode, I just remembered one of the. There's 2 episodes with great fucking cameos from the past. Is one of them with Kumiko from Karate Kid Part 2 and Chosen.
Yeah.
And just like that entire time of like Daniel in Japan, dude, heart-wrenching as well. Like him like getting the letter from finding out that Miyagi's been writing letters to I can't remember what her name was, Kumiko's mother. Or was it aunt?
I think it was aunt.
Aunt, yeah. And Chosen kind of like teaching Daniel that he's like, you know, it's like if Chosen wasn't like such an emotional fit in that fight at the end of Karate Kid Part 2, Chosen would have kicked the shit out of Daniel, I think.
Oh yeah, well, he was brutal.
Yeah. And also Chosen was just a better fighter. Yeah. I think he was just clouded with emotion.
Well, I totally forgot about that scene too where Miyagi says, "This is not tournament. This is real life. Like this is serious.
This is life or death.
This is serious. He's not messing around."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about like this had some levity to this fight. This wasn't just to win a trophy. This is like he's not messing around when he says
he's fighting for honor right now."
Yeah, like so that was cool.
And then with Elizabeth Shue coming back as Allie was fucking awesome as well.
That was a really cute.
It was
little
because you got to see that actually like how like why Johnny and Allie were actually like boyfriend and girlfriend, like what she saw in him as like his like charisma, like he's actually a really funny guy, you know, and actually a caring guy.
Yeah, and it also like just brought like this like kind of nice warm feeling where like no matter with certain people, no matter how bad it got screwed up or whatever, it's like you cared about a person, you cared about him. So years down the line, you can still kind of connect, and still show that you care about one each other as a person. I was just like, go on your date, have fun. You know, I thought it was super cute.
I was kind of frustrated. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna ruin his thing with
that was awesome
with Miguel's mom, and then how it ended with Allie being like, so I heard about this other girl.
Yeah, I was like,
oh yes.
I was sitting there, I was like, can we not do some weird love triangle thing right now? I was like, that's gonna be weird.
No, and it was just like that dose of like nostalgia and reminiscence that Johnny just needed with Allie to realize like I am living in
Now. Yeah.
I'm
like,
living in the past, and like I need to be present in what's happening now.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really cool. And like I was saying too, it brought this like closure, and
Yes.
they can still care about each other and remember
Yeah.
their good times, and then just kiss on the cheek, and it was really nice hanging out with
It
you.
was great. It was so good.
It was cool.
And I think that was one of the best writing of the season right there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree mainly because they didn't do the love triangle
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
That would have been like
By setting it up
stupid.
and then turning away from it to like show growth is. I mean, so many shows and so many writers get caught in that trap because it's just so easy to do.
It's a trope.
Because it makes it's a trope, and it's easy drama.
Yeah.
And like,
Cool, like make a love triangle.
so it was so great to like build up that easy drama to just be like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, that
And
was-
like, oh.
sweet. We're
Yeah,
not gonna do that.
cool.
Wonderful.
So yeah, that leads into the final episode, which, dude, the kids destroy.
Can you imagine how much fun?
Wait, was that the final episode actually? No, that was the second and last episode with Allie in it.
No, the final episode is.
It's because it's all happening the same night. I think the second to last episode kind of like you saw more like the point of view from Daniel and Johnny, and then the
Yeah.
last episode you saw what was happening with the kids.
Yeah.
And the entire fight.
Yeah, do you that scene would have been a lot of fun to do. Just destroy the house.
Oh, right.
That would have been like.
Yeah, you see Hawk have his turnaround. You see Samantha finally stand up to herself against Tori. And I mean, these are all the spoilers.
Yeah, all at the end right here.
Yeah. And what's great about this last episode is that it kind of felt like it was going to go, it had like a Return of the King effect, but it in a good way. Because it felt like it was like, oh, this is going to be the ending. And then, but it kept going, but you wanted it to keep going. Because like, I don't feel like it's concluded.
Okay.
It's not concluded yet.
Oh, okay.
It's not the conclusion I want yet. It's not concluded yet. Oh, there is more. Okay, good. Oh, but it feels like it's going to the end. Fuck, this is going to be the end of the season. Oh, wait, no, they have a little bit more. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I was like, no, don't end it just yet. Because it was just like so good at like having an ending, like ending a story or an idea. So it was like the kids have their fight, and then Miyagi Dojo wins or whatever. They stand their ground. The Hawk is now with them, and they go off on then like Cobra Kai runs away. And then you have Daniel and Johnny facing up against Kreese.
Oh yeah, I was like, how did Kreese get the shit kicked out of him again? Right, they did like that's when they team up, like officially.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was Daniel and Kreese started fighting first, right?
Yeah,
Because Daniel went there, and then Robbie, and then it shows that Robbie is now being trained by Kreese.
yeah, and then
Which I hated that so much. Oh yeah, because Kreese like had his little wormed his way into Robbie.
yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah, he is. He knows how to find a broken kid and make him feel like they're complete, and when all he's gonna do is just break them more.
And
God,
then
he's such an evil. Oh, he's so gross.
And he has an awesome vague phone call to an ally. Kreese does.
Oh yeah, his ally. You know who that is, right?
I'm assuming the guy from
Part 3.
yeah
Yeah.
Steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the right name, but yeah, but it's clear that it's the guy from Part 3.
Ponytail guy.
Yeah. And then, I think, it starts with Daniel and Kreese fighting, and then Johnny shows up, and they just team up. I mean, because they had like a little foreshadow of that when Daniel and Johnny were fighting all the guys in the mechanic
Garage,
shop, in the garage early on in the season, which was fucking awesome. I was like,
Motley Crue playing in the chase scene.
so good.
It was cool. It's like serious 80s nostalgia.
Setting up pretty much that, and then ending with Miyagi-Do and whatever stupid name Johnny came up with for his like park dojo.
Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang.
It's so bad.
It's fitting to his personality.
Fitting
though.
to his personality very
Yeah.
much, yeah. Teaming up, so it's Johnny and Daniel. Essentially, I don't know if they're going to call it Miyagi Dojo still or what, but I 100% called way before season 3 came out, the end of season 2 when I first watched it. It was like season 3 is going to be about Daniel and Johnny teaming up together to teach karate together. I called that. I remember talking with Rebel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm calling this. I'm calling it right now. Season 3 doesn't go that way. I don't know if I want to watch it anymore. And I called it, and they ended it perfectly with that.
I'd give this season like a good 8 out of 10.
I'd give it 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Maybe close to a 9 out of 10. I don't know. It was really enjoyable.
And it's just like rare too, where you get to the third season, a lot of time it gets to like this weird lull, and I didn't feel that way.
Well, what I think what kind of helps this is that it had its first 2 seasons with YouTube, and then it kind of like was done because YouTube Red was done. It got canceled.
Yeah.
They put Cobra Kai on Netflix.
Well, because I remember seeing the trailer for this.
Yeah, and I was really interested.
I
but
was
like,
stoked.
I didn't want to fucking subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, then I'm just not going to watch it. Like, I just decided I'm not going to pay for another streaming.
Exactly. So then as soon as it hit Netflix, I mean, it was like all of a sudden like one of the most watched TV shows.
Yeah, it's been on like the top 10.
Yeah, and then Netflix was just like, all right, we're doing it then.
I think every season of Cobra Kai has been on the top 10 watched on Netflix every season.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess...
Well, I mean, the first 2 seasons came out together.
Yeah, so every season...
Yeah, okay.
Did I stutter?
It immediately made me want to go back and watch Karate Kid Part 2 and 3, which I did that night while I started. Because I've seen the Karate Kid Part 1 enough times.
Yeah.
Part 2 and Part 3, not as much. And actually, I don't even know if I had actually ever seen Part 3.
I love Part 3.
Daniel goes evil when he starts to like train under the Cobra Kai guy.
He's like punching cinder blocks and stuff.
Yeah, but he doesn't realize he's training really under Cobra Kai in a weird way.
Yeah, it's like
because he thinks Cobra Kai. This guy's like, that the whole manipulation. It's not a good movie. It's not a really good movie.
I like evil Daniel. It's like, hey, it's fitting. It's like Spider-Man 3.
Oh God, yeah. And he is super emotional as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Part 2 is awesome. Like when he goes to Japan and it's just like all of the like stuff with like Chosen and whatnot. Like,
did you realize that the little girl when Daniel meets the little girl that he saved?
Yeah, they showed the flashback and
that's actually her.
That's the same actress.
That's the same actress.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's the same actress that
that's
played the
really
little
really
girl.
Cool. Yeah. In Part 2, I mean, really enjoyed Part 2. And Part 3, I checked out really really quick. And
I remember just not looking as good a quality either.
What's strange is Ralph Macchio is like when he's filming those movies, like I feel like in Karate Kid Part 1 he was I think he was 19 when they filmed it. And then so Karate Kid Part 2 is literally supposed to be only a year after Part 1, and Ralph Macchio, it's like I think it's 5 years later. And Ralph Macchio doesn't look any different from being 17 to being like 23.
Oh, really?
Almost, yeah. It was like, I mean, you can tell a little, like he's not like as lanky anymore. You can tell he's like a little bit more of a guy.
Yeah,
but like
filled out a bit.
He still can't grow facial hair to save his goddamn life. Any other thoughts on Cobra Kai?
Just when Sam's mom walks up and calls Kreese Rambo made me laugh really hard.
Sam's mom's also really hot.
Because he's in Rambo.
Daniel married a really good hottie.
Because Kreese is in Rambo too.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, so I thought that was really funny. I was like, hey, yeah.
So wait, so he's in Rambo?
Yeah,
because that's First Blood too.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I can't remember.
Because it's First Blood.
Yeah, I know. And then there's
First Blood 2 is Rambo, and then it's Rambo 3.
And then the other. Are there like 2 more?
Are there? I know there's Rambo
like
4.
Ones.
Yeah, maybe there were 2 newer ones.
I just think of Chris Pratt explaining them in Parks and Rec. You can't go there. And then they do anyways. And then all the villagers, they get killed. And then he's like, I got this. And
isn't it, what's her name? She's, I can't remember her name. But she's like, that's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard. Or no.
Oh, no. She's like, you should totally see it. And Donna,
that's right.
I feel like I already have. All right, I guess. Oh wait, did you want to do this?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so next week, pulling out of our, since we're finally caught up with like, oh, but what about this? What about this? And you miraculously drew. There's something about Mary last week.
That's finally out of the way.
All right, guys. So coming out of the hat, we got Adventures in Babysitting.
We're never gonna get a modern day movie, are we?
I think we are. We really need to update these drawings.
Yes, we do. So join us next week.
Hey, Elizabeth Shue though, fitting for by Cobra Kai. So
yeah, that's god damn. So yeah,
They make a joke. They have an Adventures in Babysitting joke in this movie too, or in Cobra Kai, I think, as well. I'm forgetting. I'm trying to remember.
bring it up on Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, I'll figure it. I'll find it.
All right, so yeah, thank you for listening to us ramble on about Cobra Kai for the last half an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us next week. We will be reviewing Adventures in Babysitting, and in the meantime, we will update our list to some more current things.
And yeah,
Anything? I think we should stick solely in the 2000 era for our new add-ins. For
should we actually have like separate lists, like separate like boxes, or like it's like one where it's like maybe like all generations, and then like one was like only 2000s, only 90s, only 80s, or something like that? Should we like separate more?
We can talk about that after this. That's gonna be a long conversation. Okay, so yeah.
Or should we just like should we what if we just had Indigo choose
This
the
is
next
Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Bye.